Hello and welcome to ZESTOLOGY, coming to you all the way from Austin, Texas. I'm Tony Wrighton at Paleo Effects Festival. Currently strolling outside as there's a speaker talking in the background, there's loads of stalls here. I've eaten so many free samples of ketogenic and paleo-friendly foods that I feel that I'm about to burst. But it's been a lot of fun, the sun is out, and I've managed to record some good interviews as well. I wouldn't necessarily call it a work trip as such. There's been a little bit of podcasting going on, but mostly it's just been a lot of fun. And I hope some informative podcasts for you as well. Today's podcast is all about tracking. We've spoken about tracking before. I think tracking is important because if you make a little change in your life, if you take a different supplement or you go to bed earlier or you work out, and you want to know if that's making a difference to your health and wellness and your performance levels, or you're just operating 5% better, or you're super sharp and creative, if you've got some data on the page or the app to prove it, that's good, right? Because then you know that it's working. And the Oura can help with that. Harpreet Wright is the president of Oura, and this is probably the most cutting-edge tracking technology there is out there. It's a tiny little ring. Well, the old one was quite a big ring, and it's now got a lot smaller. You'll hear me talk about that in this podcast. You wear it on your finger, and it measures loads of stuff like sleep, length of sleep, depth of sleep, REM sleep, respiratory rate, heart rate variability, heart rate, activity level, steps, recovery index, all that kind of thing. Interested? Listen on. Here is the president of Oura Ring on ZESTOLOGY. Okay. Harpreet, we're recording. How you doing?
Good, Tony. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. We're sitting outside at Paleo Effects. There's all sorts going on, isn't there?
It's awesome, yeah. They're hosting a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament there tomorrow.
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to watch some
What's
of that.
this thing going on here? It's kind of like a haystack and people are hurling brooms handles at it or something.
I mean, they're hurling brooms. They got a tire with it looks like it's some type of hammer out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's always a blast. It's my second year coming.
Is it?
It's a ton of fun. A really good crew, and honestly, I think every year, it's from what I've heard from others, it's getting, more and more people are coming, more and more people are learning about how to take control of their health, and you're meeting all types of new companies focused on different aspects of it. So it's just a cool place to meet people like you.
Yeah, and you, likewise. Yeah, good to meet you. And obviously you're one of the companies here, and I've been wanting to speak to Oura on the podcast so long because I've been banging on to people about how, because I'm a massive tracking geek.
Yeah.
I can tell you that last night I slept for 7 hours and 12 minutes.
Okay, awesome.
55 minutes of deep sleep.
All right.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Over 10%, which I think is supposed to be pretty good.
How old are you?
43.
That's pretty damn good.
Is it?
Yeah. So you will see if you look at some of the longer term data studies over, thousands of participants that, when you are a child, you sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, as you get older, as you get into your 40s, close to an hour is solid.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's pretty good.
I feel pretty good about myself now.
Yeah. What's your heart rate variability though?
So I'm really annoyed because my girlfriend's is way higher than mine,
okay.
which I'm not very happy about.
Yeah.
But heart rate variability tends to average between 50 and 60.
Okay, that's, again, really good for your age.
Oh, is
it?
it?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
That is, yeah.
Oh my God, you're making me feel so good about myself.
No hard questions now. So.
Yeah. So what's the deal there? Because one of the things on the app is it doesn't tell you, you want to be in a certain range.
We haven't done that yet. I think a lot of it is when you meet people who are trying to improve their health, it's everyone wants to compare themselves to the next person.
Yeah.
Right? I think a lot of the mentality we have is actually we just want you to be better yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not from where you're starting, it's where you're going. Right? And so, it's like going to the gym. I remember the first time I went to the gym, I was 18 years old, just enrolled in university.
Yeah.
Right? I couldn't do a pull-up. Right? I played football, soccer, soccer as we call it here in the U.S., but I was, a huge football fan, and, I never lifted weights.
I know you support Arsenal.
I do.
We'll forgive you for that
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, we'll see with the new coach, but it should be interesting. But, look, it was going from 0 pull-ups to 5 felt amazing. And so taking your heart rate variability from an average of, let's say, 45 to 50 to 55, you're going to feel amazing. And you shouldn't be looking at the guy that has, a 90 or 100, right? And it's all about you improving who you are. And we want the competition to be, a competition with yourself, with you making better choices, you realizing, what actions, having that extra beer, right? Having a late dinner, having that dessert is going to, dive that down. And so we want you to figure out what works for you and how to improve yourself. And now, look, the guys that are out there like, Ben Greenfield, right? Or, an Alex Fergus that have, amazing data when we look at it, in the top 5% of our data, that's great. But, the average person needs to start somewhere. So I think that's why we've stayed away from trying to say, hey, this is good or this is bad, and help people improve. But we might be doing more of these, statistics on averages going forward, because they are interesting. So.
I like the heart rate variability a lot, and the heart rate, and I've got it's something interesting that I noticed from wearing the Oura Ring is we went to Thailand for a month in January.
Okay.
It was great. We went to a meditation retreat and we spent loads of time outside and we did loads of exercise. It was just a really chill month.
Yeah.
Didn't drink any alcohol. Lovely. Just
that's awesome.
Very social, great food, all that kind of thing. And after about 5 or 6 days of being there, my average heart rate in the night dropped 10.
Wow. 10 beats.
Yeah, 10 beats from around 55 to around 45.
Wow.
And my average heart rate variability went up like 10 or 20.
Wow.
And it stayed like that for the whole month. And then I got back February the 1st. It was raining and cold in London. And it stayed down. I was like, this is brilliant. And then after about 3 days, it went up to 55 again. Yeah.
I mean, same thing. I think I've set records for lowest resting heart rate and my own best heart rate variability on vacation. I was in Bali.
Really?
Similar climate, right?
Yeah.
So I think it sort of actually shows why taking vacation's healthy, right?
Yeah.
And you need to do it more often. And frankly, it probably also shows how stressful our daily lives are and how much we need to keep working on improving managing that stress.
Yeah.
Right, and our day-to-day lives, because that's not sustainable, right?
Yeah,
it's not how we should be. We shouldn't feel like crap every day.
Yeah,
we shouldn't feel stress every day. So it's good to see that. So now you need a vacation.
Yeah, it's really cool. And with the heart rate variability, one thing that I've been interested in for years is heart math.
Sure.
And I bought one of these M waves about 10 years ago, which like clipped onto your ear and measured your pulse when you're meditating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Have you guys got plans at some point in the future to be able to measure like meditation and heart rate at the same time, or heart rate variability at the same time?
Yes, we do. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a request we've gotten from a lot of users.
Yeah.
There's actually some good literature too about how breathing and meditation can improve your heart rate variability, and actually pretty quickly. So that is something we're going to introduce. It'll come as a software update, over the app. Probably in about, the app guys would tell me, it would kill me if I gave a timeline. So I'll just say in about a quarter after we release the product.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So when you say the product, the second Oura Ring.
The second generation Oura Ring.
Who might not have an Oura Ring. If you Google Oura Ring, you'll probably see something very sleek and very beautiful, and that's the second generation. The first one's also beautiful in a slightly more mafioso way. It was a bigger bit of kit, but you've managed to shrink it to something which just looks like a normal ring now. Yeah,
that's right. I mean, a lot of technology, every year tech keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Sensors keep getting better. Algorithms keep getting better as you work on them. So, we were able to, it's a huge improvement. We went from a 40 milliamp battery to about a battery that's, I'll just say less than half of that now.
Yeah.
And it's curved. Not only did we shrink the battery size and the size of the ring, we actually extended the battery life. So now instead of 2 nights of data, you're actually able to capture 7 nights of data off of a single charge. And there was no compromises at all in signal quality. In fact, it's actually greatly improved.
Yeah.
So over the next, over this year, you should see some, we've seen other publications hit the market about our accuracy, but we're looking forward to having some new ones coming out showing off how much better the data is.
There is a certain charm to the old Oura Ring, though. I've got a friend in London, Ryan. He's like, it's great. People always ask me about it. It's a talking point.
Yeah,
it's a bit big for me, but I like the new one. The look of the new one better.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's always hard. I mean, I think there's a saying: if you want to please everyone all the time, you should just sell ice cream. Because that's the only thing that makes everyone happy. Was it your idea for the company originally? No, it was not. I'm just president of the company.
President? That sounds pretty important to me.
It's not. I'm riding on the coattails of a great technical team.
Yeah.
We had 3 co-founders. Majority of the company is in Finland, but we have seen, as the U.S. is a big market for wearables for self-quantification. We've seen a lot of sales here. About 70% of our sales are between the U.S. and Canada and the Americas. So we have started to grow the team here a bit, and so Yeah, I joined the company about a year ago.
Yeah.
And helping them run operations in the U.S. So it's our biggest market, and honestly, you get a lot of great events like PaleoFX.
Yeah.
Other conferences like Bulletproof, etc. So it's good to hear the community out here, make sure we're delivering a product that has the features they want. So I think being out here is important.
In terms of tracking stuff and whether it's important or not, I've always been into it, and as you said earlier, I like to kind of say, all right, if I eat late, my heart rate is definitely higher than if I don't, for example.
Sure.
But sometimes, I'm not a doctor. I find it hard to explain it sometimes why it's important. I went to see Dr. McCullough.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Dr.
And he's brilliant.
He's
awesome. And I've really respected his stuff, and his site is great. And he asked, I don't know, were you in his talks more?
I couldn't. We were working the booth, so I
you'll be
couldn't
pleased with what he did, because he was like, who's got an Oura Ring here? And quite a few people put up their hand, and he wasn't happy. He said, right, this isn't enough. We need you all to have one because it's such a great way to improve your sleep.
Wow.
He really laboured the point.
Yeah, I mean, support from Dr. McCullough is obviously huge. And, I think we've done a lot as a company to hear, some of the concerns. He is concerned with EMF. We're the only wearable that offers an airplane mode, right? So you can turn off the Bluetooth communication. In fact, we'll store your data for 6 weeks now, right, without ever syncing it. So I think, making sure that we deliver a product that, communities value is extremely important. And it's great to hear Dr. McCullough's support. So
that's how I found you originally.
Oh, really?
I was not McCullough because of the airplane mode.
Sure, yeah.
I did not want to wear something that had a little radiation device on my body all the time, and I wore a jawbone for years.
Okay, yeah.
And I kind of liked it, actually, but I didn't like the fact you couldn't switch it off.
Right.
That's a great selling point.
It is, yeah.
No one else is doing it.
No one else is doing it.
You must be thinking at some point they're going to click on, but they haven't.
Honestly, it's give credit to great Finnish engineering. It's very, very hard from a firmware perspective to compress all that information down into something that can be stored as small as a ring. And so that's what you need to do is you need to store information.
So even if it's in airplane mode, it's still
collecting the data and storing it.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, here's another example. We chose infrared light. Infrared light has been shown to have health benefits, right?
Yeah.
So you won't see green light on there, right?
Yeah.
Green light at night obviously bothers people, right? Some people are extremely light sensitive. But infrared light obviously has been shown to have many, many health benefits.
So there's actually a light on there measuring
your
pulse.
So we're sampling.
I've never seen a light on it.
No, you won't. It's in the infrared region.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So you can't see it, but we have 2 LEDs on the inside and a detector in the middle. And we're sampling at 250 hertz. So a light's actually shining 250 times a second.
Is it?
Yeah. So that's it's about 10 times more than the average Fitbit or Apple Watch. So Yeah, that's what gives us such accurate signals. So I will say this: maybe not all data is useful, but inaccurate data is definitely not useful.
No,
in fact, you can make bad correlations with that, right? Incorrect correlation. So I think I think we were talking a little bit about sleep cycle before, right?
Yeah.
So I think what's cool about self-collected data is you can see yourself that, hey, is this working for me? Is this not working, right? And you can see how you respond to your lifestyle choices. So an intermittent fasting diet, right? I've done it. You've done it, right? I did sort of the same thing that you did. Used to eat really, really late. Right, I'd end up finishing a huge dinner, right around probably like 9 o'clock, and then I'd be trying to go to bed at 10 or 11. I'd look at my resting heart rate, I'd look at my heart rate variability data, and I was like, wait, this is really, really bad, but I thought I'm actually doing something that's healthy. And, then I changed it. I actually moved my window 3 hours earlier. It's a little bit harder to pull off socially because I'm trying to finish dinner by 6:37.
Yeah. You
right?
make the odd exception.
Yeah, I'll make the odd exception every now and then, but it's so great to be able to see that data.
Yeah.
Right? I had another friend, he started doing an intermittent fasting window where he starts first thing in the morning. So he's done by 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And honestly, he saw about a reduction in his resting heart rate, about 5 beats per minute. On average, and his heart rate variability increased 20 points.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that's what data is about, right? Finding things that you can use in an easy way, make changes, and see a positive effect.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to know a couple of the other revelations that I found?
Would love to.
From Oura?
Please. Yeah.
I started taking a supplement called L-ornithine.
Okay.
At night. It's an amino acid. And that has really helped my depth of sleep. I can feel it helping as well.
Wow.
But I'm not sure if it would work for everyone, or if genetically it particularly agrees with me.
Yeah.
But my goodness, it really helps.
Wow.
So that's been good. And the other thing I found is that sex dramatically increases my heart rate when I'm sleeping. Even though obviously I'm not having sex while I sleep.
Yeah, right.
But that makes quite a difference as well.
So might affect the time. Maybe morning sex is better for you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that might be a step too far. Sorry, can't have sex tonight. Oura wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I think regular sex has been shown to have positive health benefits to increase testosterone release, which helps with deep sleep for men.
Yeah.
So, again, there's balance. You can always go overboard on any of these things. So just if I shifted my intermittent fasting window earlier, right, if, you wanted to go have dinner tonight, I'm not going to say no, right, just because of that. So, I think it's interesting to see these N of 1 cases. So you spoke about, what's the name of the supplement again? It's L-ornithine. Ornithine. Okay, I'll have to give that a shot. I think.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I will.
I'd love to know what you think.
Yeah, I think what's cool about some of the data that we can collect with Oura, the Oura Ring, is starting to see these correlations and helping people figure out what works for them. Frankly, I found out I increased my deep sleep quite a bit by using blue light blocking glasses.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. And I always felt like I wake up, when there's light in the room and sun hits, I wake up pretty quickly. And I always know I wake up before my girlfriend, which is annoying because she can sleep forever. But it was cool to see that hey, using these blue light blocking glasses helps. I think that's what self-collected data is about. And by the way, when my girlfriend uses them, it doesn't help her as much. And it's finding out what works for you. So some people might not be affected by eating as late as you and I are. And so I think it's this N of 1, figuring out what works for you, and people sharing and talking about it, that's going to make us healthier as a society. So,
what about I've noticed that the new update came out on the app recently, and there's something else that you measure, which is respiratory rate.
Respiratory rate.
Yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
accent
So
difference.
Is that the lower that your respiratory rate, the better? Is that right?
Look, I am not a doctor.
Okay.
So
yeah, well, that's all right.
I should preface it with that.
No, I just find it interesting because I don't know much about it. So,
frankly, I don't know a ton about it. Other than it is from my general understanding, your lungs are probably more efficient, right? If you're breathing less, right?
I know on the app you gave a kind of recommended range.
A recommended
range. Lower end of.
There you go.
Yeah, good.
It's paying off. But no, look, I think also you can start to see. You'll see when if you have alcohol or more than a beer or two, or a shot or two, you'll see that respiratory rate pick up.
Yeah.
When you're having a cold, same thing.
Yeah.
So again, another data triangulation way, getting heart rate variability along with heart rate, along with respiratory rate and temperature. Now, hey, we can start to see when you're having a cold, pretty easily. And it's going to have pretty good data. Now you have 4 different signals around it.
That's the other thing I forgot to tell you. I noticed I was absolutely shocked at how I don't really drink that much.
Yeah.
But even when I have 1 glass of wine, say, or even half a glass of wine, my heart rate is way higher overnight.
Yep.
But that might be 5 hours later. I mean, honestly, it's every time.
Again, it gets back to, I think, this N of 1. Like you may be more sensitive to alcohol than the average person. For me, I noticed the type of alcohol matters a lot.
Yeah.
If I have a glass, I was doing a ketogenic diet for about a year and a half, and so tequila became my go-to drink. Right, I'll have it neat. Right, I'll have it with a lime. But then I started after I got my first Oura Ring, I noticed that, hey, when I have tequila, my heart rate's up by 20 beats than, off the average. Instead of a, high 40s, low 50, it's up.
Really?
Yeah, I'm up, and that's on two glasses. Wow. So it's not like I'm having 10 shots I'm under the table, right?
Yeah.
But it was really interesting to see that actually, if I switched to a light beer, I just had 1 beer, my heart rate was about the same. Now, if I have 2 or 3 beers, again, it'll get jacked up as well. But it was really cool to see that. So you may want to try experimenting with, a different type of
That's true.
drink.
Yeah, I found that really interesting, and just confirms the fact that I'm a bit of a lightweight. So what's next for you guys? Obviously, you've got the new ring.
Sure.
But to be honest, by the time people listen to this, it'll be out because it's coming out in the next few weeks.
It is. We'll start shipping, in May in a couple of weeks.
And we've got a ZESTOLOGY code for it, haven't we?
Yes, that's right. ZESTOLOGY.
I can't remember how much off it is. But
75, I guess in the UK, pounds.
Oh, cool.
But whatever currency you're in, it'll take $75, 75 pounds off, or 75 euros off.
Okay. Yeah. Are we definite on that one?
Yes, we're definite on
great.
that. Yeah,
cool.
And that'll be active for about 2 weeks after the podcast first airs.
Yeah,
and then it will drop to 50.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you want to save that extra 25 quid, as I believe
I'm not quite sure where this is coming out, but the ZESTOLOGY code will definitely get you something off.
Yes, it'll get 75 euro off or 75 pounds off for the first 2 weeks, and then it'll drop to 50.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so when you hear this podcast, make sure you order.
Go for it. Yeah.
Definitely.
And then I find myself constantly wondering just where health tech is going to go.
Sure.
Because the possibilities are endless, aren't they?
They are.
Have you got kind of a department of Oura which is kind of blue sky thinking, what can we do in 5 years' time?
It's funny you say that. Actually, we've been focusing on trying to, that's what helped create the Oura Ring in the first place, was that blue sky thinking. So we're getting, just like I think Jeff Bezos talks about this at Amazon, every day has got to be day one for a startup. Every day you got to be thinking about what is that blue sky scenario? What is the next thing we should be focused on? And so we as a young startup company, it's hard to dedicate resources. And so now we've actually specifically focused the original founding team on, let's get back to day one.
Really?
Right? Yeah, let's get back to, okay, guys, there's a business side, there's a marketing side of the business, then there's an algorithm side.
Yeah.
There's obviously an app and hardware side, but what about the blue sky thinking? So, we are actually focusing back on innovation again. And look, there's some short-term thinking, short-term plans like we talked about, something to do with meditation and breathing, that'll be coming in the future.
Oh, good, yeah.
I think,
short term, you want to flog a lot of rings, don't
you?
So
totally.
So you got enough money to...
exactly, to grow the team and do this. Then also what we were talking about, getting these correlations.
Yeah.
So seeing, okay, I took a supplement, I took, L-theanine, and this is what's happening to my sleep. Or, I actually ate earlier.
That's
I think
massive.
Making that easier and frankly sharing that data with each other.
Yeah.
Right? So, really improving on this notes and tags functionality.
Yeah.
That's something you should see more of, as the product comes out and the app's released. Yeah, I think that's going to help people a lot improve their sleep. But I think, look, we're looking at all types of stuff. There's really interesting things we think with pulse waveform. There's interesting things with respiratory rate, right? There's a lot you can do. What kind of data could you collect if you had 2 rings on instead of 1? So I think there's a lot more down the road that we're thinking about. And it's all about, I think what's so cool about this and all the companies here at PaleoFX is people getting better, people having a better life. People, honestly feeling better. It's just huge, right? Having more energy, being better versions of themselves. It's not, again, you may have some chronic condition right now, but it's not about where you are, it's where you want to go. And every first step's a positive step. So I think we're just happy to be part of that mission. And frankly, I think there's, we've seen it. We've seen a lot of tech, what the harm it's done to our bodies. Always being connected, less sleep, more stress, right, when you're working. And we all live hectic lives and schedules, and we're being bombarded by emails, advertisements, whatever it is. So I think it's awesome to have a movement of people, right, trying to improve themselves again. And frankly, we're just honored to be part of that movement.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got the new style rings look great. I've got to ask you, Harpreet, what's good? There's like a bling one, isn't there? It's like it's got a diamond in it.
There is a diamond one.
Has anyone actually bought that?
Yes, we have. I'm not going to say how many people, but it's tens of people have ordered it. Frankly, it may...
Because that's a lot more expensive than your other one.
It is. I actually think it's over 100 people have ordered it.
Really?
Yeah. So
wow.
We will be doing more of that in the future. I think... Look, we're going to create something. We want to create, make it fun, make it cool.
Yeah.
So expect actually some cool designs in the future with jewelry designers, people you probably heard of, people that have bought high-end jewelry through special designers and celebrities. Like you're going to see some of that coming out. We, not only do we want to be a product that helps people, we obviously want to make it fun and make it cool, and for people to actually, like you said with the first gen ring, people noticed it. People saw that you're a part of that movement. So I think we want to bring a little bit of that back.
You could hardly miss the first gen ring.
Yeah. Look, it's funny. We've had
wearing a small lorry on your finger.
So it's really actually interesting to see. Again, you can't please all the people all the time, but some people and prominent people in the health space have asked us to actually still keep that one going.
Yeah.
So
I've got friends who are sticking with the first one.
Yeah. It's look, I love the new design. I think it's easier to wear. Frankly, it makes it easier for me to wear it too when I'm working out. It's just lighter. It's you barely notice it's there. So I think, look, the sales numbers are already showing that. We've said this on our website. We've actually sold over 20,000. Pre-ordered. We've had over 20,000 pre-orders. So the numbers are showing that majority of people like the newer design.
Good. Yeah.
But there will be cool things to do. Just
some people who like to look like a mafia boss with a tracker on.
Exactly.
Something I've asked everyone on this podcast. I didn't warn you about this in advance, so let me know if you need some time to think about it. What is one book you'd recommend and one tip for living with more energy? You're obviously someone who's very into health and wellness. You said you were keto for 18 months. And you've experimented with diet and that kind of thing.
You're putting me on the spot.
Don't worry if you haven't got
Matt Walker's new book. He's a professor out at Berkeley. I'm blanking on his book about sleep. but it's like everything you ever want to know about sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was just on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Really?
Yeah, so
that sounds good.
Yeah, his new book, I can't believe I'm blanking on the name of it.
Matt Walker's sleep book.
Yeah, he's Berkeley's, he runs their sleep lab. Fantastic book about sleep.
Yeah.
Just shows about how it's so vital and how we know so little.
Okay.
So that's my answer to the first part of your question.
Yeah, and then the second part is, what is one tip that you would give for living with more energy and vitality?
Honestly, and it's going to sound cheesy, improve your sleep. If you improve your sleep, you're going to feel better, you're going to be in a better mood, you're going to have more energy. And frankly, if you're not, you're a grouch. No one wants to be around you. You don't want to be around anyone, and you're going to be depressed. So I think, look, really focusing on the fundamentals of your health, right? I think about 3 or 4 things, right? Sleep, diet, exercise, some form of mental health. Call it meditation, call it therapy, whatever you want to call it, whatever works for you. But I think sleep's the one we actually spend the most time doing, right? 8 hours a night, or at least we should be every night. Exercise, frankly, even when we do exercise, it's about an hour at a time and a few times a week. So sleep's something you do every day and it affects everything you do.
Yeah.
So you want to be better at meditating, you need to get better sleep. You want to have a better diet, you need to get better sleep, because guess what? Sleep actually controls helps influence your release of ghrelin and leptin, which is your satiety, right, and your hunger hormones. So if you sleep less, you're going to be hungrier, and when you eat, you're going to be less full. So you're going to eat more crappy food. So I think if you improve your sleep, you will improve your energy. It's not an easy thing to do, but we hope we're making a device that helps people do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've really enjoyed using it, so thank you.
Cool. Yeah, great to hear that.
Where, if people want to find out a little bit more, or they want to use the code, where do they go to order it?
www.ouraring.com, so OURARING.com.
Yeah.
And the code again is?
ZESTOLOGY.
Yeah, that'll give you 75 off.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you were absolutely swamped with people in there, weren't you? So I just dragged you out.
Yeah, it's cool. We had a good show at the booth so far.
So let me know what you think of the El Ornithine.
I will. I'm going to try it.
Do you know, I actually bought some from Whole Foods today, so I'll give you one if you want.
All right,
try
perfect.
It tonight.
Actually, I'm going to take more than one.
Great.
Any brand you recommend, or anywhere you recommend?
What did I buy? I think I've got a Jarrow one in here.
Okay.
I'll give you one. You can try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a peddler.
We'll try it and we'll see how well my deep sleep improves.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Cool. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
That's it for this episode of Zestology. Thank you to Harpreet Rai. I am off to sample some more of the delights of Paleo FX conference. It's it's not just paleo, it's anything to do with kind of the natural health and wellness community. There is a lot of food stuff here. I think my favourite snack that I've tried is a guy who's developed something that's not even come out yet. It's crisps made out of chicken skins and flavoured with different flavours, one of which is buffalo. So you've got chicken flavoured buffalo. No, hang on, buffalo flavoured chicken. I don't know, it seems weird. It shouldn't really be happening, should it? And you know what? It was absolutely delicious as well, so I hope it works out for him. Remember, if you want to get an Oura Ring, then you can use that code ZESTOLOGY. And if you do already use an Oura Ring and you've got any questions or any feedback, I would love to hear from you as well. You can get in touch usual way, TonyWrighton.com or @TonyWrighton, because as you probably gathered from the podcast, because I've been using it for a few months, when I get involved in something, I tend to massively research the hell out of it so I know exactly what I'm doing. And Oura is one of those things. If I wasn't able to put it into airplane mode, I wouldn't even be using it. And then all the other stats seem to be quite helpful. So, get in touch with me if you're interested in knowing any more. That's it. See you next time.